Nearly 30,000 people packed the Coliseum yesterday in Oakland and they were chanting "Sell the team." They were throwing trash on the field. It was absolute mayhem in Oakland yesterday. Another Mets pitcher got ejected for sticky stuff even though he didn't throw a single pitch, and Gary Sanchez, the Kraken, yeah, he's back. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we'll recap every single game almost every single day. And a reminder, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the games from yesterday. We have the Brewers and the Twins. And if you guys did not know, Christian Yelich, he is on pace for a 22 home run, 40 stolen base season. He did almost all of the damage against Minnesota in this one. He had a 2-run double in the first and then a 2-run blast in the 7th. Now, Minnesota, they did get one of those back on a 7th inning home run from Kyle Farmer, but they're down a few and they have to face Devin Williams, so this one is going to be a wrap. Okay, hold on a second. Michael A. Taylor, he went 425 feet. Donnie Barrels, aka Donovan Solano, he laced a game-tying RBI single, and oh my, Carlos Correa hit Milwaukee with the watch celebration. He said, "It's my time." That's the Carlos Correa that we've been waiting for all year long. I mean, the Twins win 7-5 because Carlos Correa, he's him. Even though he's injured and he's got plantar fasciitis and maybe a bad ankle, he's still him. The Orioles and the Blue Jays, so like, did the Blue Jays delete the Orioles 2K player or something? Because the Orioles offense, they played angry yesterday. Adam Frazier out of nowhere now has 8 home runs. He's a power hitter. His career high is 10. He did that back in, I think, 2018, 2019 when there was a juiced baseball. So there you go. Ryan O'Hearn, he has 5 home runs. And Gunnar Henderson, he is the hottest hitter in all of Major League Baseball right now. He is locked all the way in. He's hitting .425 with 5 home runs and 2 stolen bases over his last 9 games after that grand slam. That is why he was once the #1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. Aaron Hicks, just like Adam Frazier, he looks like a whole new player in Baltimore. He's hitting .365 with 2 home runs in his first 11 games as an Oriole. Baltimore, they went easy. They won 5 in a row. The Orioles scored 11 runs. Another team that scored 11, the San Francisco Giants. Michael Conforto, he brought home the Giants' first 3 runs. He has 36 RBIs and a 120 OPS plus, kind of a tip of the cap to him because he's coming back from that devastating shoulder injury. The rookies, Casey Schmidt and Patrick Bailey, they continued to impress. They both had RBI singles, and there's the dagger. Mike Wazowski, I've been saying that joke for way too long. I probably should put it to bed. But anyways, Mike Yastrzemski, he belts a 2-run blast to left center, and Patrick Bailey then made it back-to-back home runs. Patrick Bailey, the rookie switch-hitting catcher, now has 10 extra base hits and 16 RBIs in his first 19 games. A huge tip of the cap to another Giants rookie, Keaton Wynn, who tossed the final 4 frames to earn his first career saves. Yes, you can get a save even though you win by 8 runs. The Giants are winners of 3 in a row, whereas the Cardinals, they've lost 4 in a row. They look terrible. Like, they're completely out of sorts. Let's talk about the Giants' rival, the Dodgers, and see if they could capitalize against a super disappointing White Sox team. Yet again, they are disappointing. I mean, on paper, they're supposed to be really good, but Will Smith and David Peralta, they both pummeled 2-run taters off of Lance Lynn. Will Smith, by the way, has 10 home runs while basically hitting .290. He is so underrated still after all these years. Lance Lynn, he has a 6.75 ERA. He's given up the most base hits and home runs in all of baseball. Gonzo, on the other hand, Mr. Tony Gonsolin, he lowers his career ERA to 2.42 after tossing another 6 shutout frames, 6 innings, 6 punch-outs. He only allowed 2 base hits the entire day. Now, if we're going to talk about the Giants and the Dodgers, we got to talk about the Padres and the Diamondbacks, but let's talk about the Padres first. The Kraken has been released, and to be honest with you guys, I don't know if you can contain Gary Sanchez when he gets hot. El Scary Gary is officially back. He has 6 home runs and 15 RBIs in his first 13 games as a Padre. Baseball is better, in my opinion, when Gary Sanchez is raking and when Fernando Tatis Jr. is raking as well. Nando missed 20 games. He already has 13 home runs, 8 stolen bases, and defensively, his 5 outs above average is the most of any right fielder in baseball. Again, he missed 20 games. Xander Bogaerts, he made it a 6th spot for the Padres. He's waking up lately. Josh Hader, he turned Cleveland into mincemeat, and I don't even know what mincemeat is. If you understand that movie reference, we can be friends, and you are invited to my birthday party. Let me know what movie that's from. But yeah, he struck out the side, and the Padres, they keep pace with the Giants and the Dodgers. Now, what about the first place Diamondbacks? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and spoil it right now. The Phillies demolished and embarrassed the Diamondbacks in Arizona yesterday. June Schwarber, he is yet again a thing. Kyle Schwarber went 415 feet. He has 18 home runs on the season, 5 already in the month of June. Now, skipping to the 5th after Philly scored a few to go up 6-0, Bryson Stott, he went yard, and he did that moments after the Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup. I bring that up because Bryson, He's a 702 boy. He's from Las Vegas, so I thought that was a cool moment. Castellanos had another big game. He drove in 2 on a double in the 8th, right before JT Realmuto doubled in Nick Castellanos. Bryce Harper's 2-run single in the 9th caps off a monster 15-run day for the Phillies. And by the way, I mean, there was so much offense, it was hard to bring up Zach Wheeler. He was fantastic. 7 strikeouts over 6 innings. He has 94 strikeouts in 82 innings. The Phillies, they won 15-3 over the first place Diamondbacks. All right, let's get into game 1 of the Subway Series. Mad Max, he was taking on the Yankees, and we are already starting off with fireworks. Giancarlo Stanton and Brandon Nimmo, they both traded some long home runs in the first inning. And after the Mets rallied in the second and third inning to go up 5-1, the wheels completely fell off. DJ LeMahieu, I'm not gonna lie, he's been looking really old this year. That 2-run home run has to feel really good. And there's Anthony Volpe. They're not gonna call that an error, so he's gonna get a free RBI double. But Volpe, he has a brand new batting stance, and this comes after he had a dinner with Austin Wells, a prospect for the Yankees. He said, hey, you used to have a different batting stance when we played together. So Volpe, he switched it up. And of course, someone like Jake Bauers is gonna get the job done versus an all-time great. Mad Max got tagged for 6 earned runs after that 2-run single from Bauers, who now has 13 RBIs and a 115 OPS plus for the Yankees. Now time for some drama. Mets reliever Drew Smith was ejected before throwing a pitch, and his teammates even checked his hand. Yeah, that was really weird. Unfortunately, he does get an automatic 10-game suspension, but after the game, he said that MLB officials checked his hand. He said it was not sticky and that they laughed at Drew Smith getting ejected.
My hands were sticky, and I had everybody check him as I was coming off the field. I don't know if that was caught on camera. The MLB guy in the tunnel, I kind of forced him to feel my hands as I walked in. I just grabbed him like this and pulled, and he actually laughed and said there was nothing there. So I don't really know what else to do.
So, yeah, that happened. I wonder how MLB is going to respond to that one. The Mets, they take an L in game 1 after Michael King secured his 4th save of the year. The Mets are 5 games under 500. They are an unmitigated disaster right now. We're going to talk about the A's game right after this one, but let's talk about the Rockies and the Red Sox. Colorado, they wanted to make Red Sox fans sad early, and they accomplished that after Elias Diaz, he clears the bases on a double. This dude is so sick. The guy is hitting .296 with 33 RBIs as a catcher. Rookie Brenton Doyle, he quickly made it 4-0, and right after, Rafael Devers had a monster. I mean, a monster 311-foot 2-run home run, 311 feet. That is not a typo. I mean, he barely got that baseball out. An RBI single from JT and a sac fly from Christian Arroyo ties it up at 4-4, and it stayed that way going into extras, so free baseball it is. Randall Grichuk, he completed the task of making Boston fans sad. He rips a go-ahead 2-run double, and thank goodness for the extra run of support from Jerkson Profar on that sac fly, because Rafi, he would have tied it up. He has 17 home runs and 56 RBIs. Regardless, the Rockies do beat the Red Sox 7-6. The Sox have lost 2 in a row. The fans of Oakland planned a reverse boycott, so they have been boycotting A's games all year long by not going to anything, but finally they said, we're going to go to this game and show that the fans are not the issue. Across the stadium, fans were dressed in a green shirt that simply said sell, in reference to their disdain of owner John Fisher. They would like him to sell the team as opposed to moving to Las Vegas. Hogan Harris, that is such a sick baseball name, by the way. He held Tampa Bay in check over 7 amazing frames. He didn't walk anyone. He allowed just 1 run the entire day, and thankfully Brent Roker, he doubled in the game-tying run in the bottom half of the 7th, and pinch hitter Carlos Perez, he grounded out to score the go-ahead run. And after Randy Arozarena got thrown out by Shea Langoliers in the 9th, Trevor May, he closed it out with the strikeout. The A's, they've won 7 games in a row. The fans, they proceeded to throw trash on the field. Again, they hate their owner John Fisher, but afterwards the A's announced that they're going to be donating all $800,000 in ticket sales to charities. So kind of W's across the board, right? If we're going to talk about the A's, we have to talk about the Angels and the Astros. We'll talk about the Astros after the Angels game. Nathaniel Lowe, he put Texas out in front after a huge 2-run home run in the 3rd, and would have been more had it not been for Mickey. Mr. Moniak has been playing like prime Mickey Mantle. Okay, not really, but he does have 5 home runs, a 155 OPS plus, and 2 outs above average in the outfield. Hunter Renfroe, he squared up a baseball for a 2-run shot, and same for the rookie Zach Neto. Neto, he's hitting .409 with 3 home runs and 2 stolen bases with amazing defense over his last 7 games. Drury, he knocked in the game's final run, as Carlos Estevez, who has been throwing a lot of innings as of late, he converted his 18th save of the season. The Angels have won 3 in a row, 2 in a row against the Rangers. They're 1 game back of the Astros. The Angels are 1 game back of the Astros because Houston got an easy win yesterday against the Washington Nationals. Patrick Corbin wasn't that bad, but those 2 home runs in the 5th really did him in. Mauricio Dubon has been a godsend for the Astros, and Kyle Tucker, he He now has 9 home runs and 10 stolen bases. Hunter Brown, he put Washington into a blender. He only struck out 4, but he tossed 7 shutout frames. Maldonado and McCormick, they both hit solo home runs as well. Altuve, he finished off this one. He brought in the game's final run. The Astros, again, they went easy 6-1. So if we're going to talk about the A's, the Angels, and the Astros, we have to talk about the Mariners and George Kirby. He's going to have a really fun day against Miami because his offense, they gave him a massive lead to work with early. Cal Raleigh, he went boom. He launched a 3-run missile to deep right. Mike Ford, he then connected on a 2-run home run. And again, all of this was for George Kirby, who diced up the Marlins over 6 scoreless. He had 10 strikeouts without walking a single hitter. He's actually the best in baseball at not walking anyone. His 0.7 walks per 9 is best in the league. Jose Caballero, he legged out a 3-run triple, so 3 runs on a 3-bagger. Mike Ford, he had his second of the game. The Mariners, they are officially back to a 500 record, and they're just 4.5 games back of the AL wildcard. They win easy 9-3. Pirates fans, cover your eyes. Well, actually, not yet, because Jack Sawinski, that kid rakes, and you do not want to miss it. Maybe cover your eyes on that one. Ian Happ, he also rakes, and that right there is a 3-run blast into the night sky. Wait, there's Jack again. I think he's from Chicago, so kind of a cool moment to hit 2 home runs in his hometown city. The only thing is, Jack's team got smacked around. The Cubs retook the lead on a Matt Mervis single in the 6th, and then they started teeing off again in the 7th. Chicago put up a 4 spot, with the last 2 coming on a 2-run single from Yan Gomes, and there's the full-blown backbreaker. Christopher Morel, he has been slumping as of late. He launched a 3-run home run. He really needed that. The Cubs, wow, they went easy 11-3. You know how we've been clowning on the A's all season long? Well, if the Royals lose this game, they'll officially have the worst record in all of Major League Baseball. Ellie De La Cruz, he got on and ended up scoring on a Spencer Steers single, which was then followed up by an RBI 2-bagger from Kevin Newman. 2 different RBI singles off the bats of Stuart Fairchild and TJ Friedel. The Reds have some interesting last names, by the way. Anyways, Fairchild, he scores on a wild pitch, giving Cincinnati a huge 5th run to work with, because as you can see, that 5th run ended up being massive, as Bobby Witt Jr.'s 2-run blast in the 3rd made it a 1-run game. Bobby has 11 home runs and 21 stolen bases. He's hitting .290 with a near .340 on base percentage over the last 2 weeks. Good for him. Kansas City, though, they couldn't muster any more. Alexis Diaz, he converts his 16th save of the year. The Reds have won 4 in a row, which means that Jordan Lyles is now 0-11 with a 6.89 ERA. The Royals have the worst win percentage in all of baseball because they've lost 8 in a row, and they're second to last in team ERA, and they're 3rd worst in team OPS. The Royals, they might be worse than the A's, which is crazy to say because the A's started off as all-time bad. So that does it for today's MLB recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and also if you're brand new, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys later for another recap.